Hello, everyone. I'm actually doing this speech here, pretty much on should students have to wear school uniforms, or actually to title it better, students should have to wear a school uniform. So the purpose of the speech really is to talk about students having to wear school uniforms in grade school. By the end of the speech, the audience, should actually be pretty informed about why students should have to wear school uniforms to grade school. So let me just start off here by saying, students, to me, they should have to wear school uniforms. It brings a lot of formality into schools with different cultures, races, classes, whatever the case may be, right? Although many students may not like the policy to wear the uniforms, it's easy and it lessens the bullying, which is a big factor when you start talking about what people are wearing, how they look nowadays, and stuff like that. There's a big mix of cultures, ethnicity, financial backgrounds, and having uniforms will give the actual children, right, the ability to separate all of that and act as a whole, if you will, right, and not have to worry about, hey, this person is going to make fun of my clothing because I don't have a designer shirt on, or a designer pair of jeans, or whatever the case may be. So, ultimately, grade schools, right, have a lot of cultures. Cultural diversity is growing. It's a growing trend in schools today. Students of different cultures in which come together to learn in grade school have the ability to learn functions in multicultural environments. The different cultures, although do not need the openness of everything, they also dress differently. So by having these these uniforms, it separates a lot of that culture and questions about why are you wearing baggy jeans, or why are your clothes so tight, or why are you wearing purple sneakers, or whatever the case may be, right? It kind of separates that. It also separates the fact that children tend to I guess separate or separate themselves by what they wear, by how they act, and a couple different things. But they'll often go ahead and form these cliques, if you will, right? And you don't want that in these schools. And having the uniforms within the schools is going to be a key in actually minimizing those cliques, right? Those quote unquote cliques. Students won't have to worry about the the different clothing and so on. One thing that I personally feel is that bullying is a big factor, right, when it comes to clothing. When you have a child that goes to school and doesn't have the financial stability, right? The family doesn't have that financial background to provide, let's say, your typical Tommy Hilfiger shirt, or, Nike sneakers, or whatever the case may be. That tends to become a problem as they get older, and they're entering, the older grade schools and so on. It opens them up to a whole nother world of just criticizing and being put down, so forth. I mean, I can give you perfect example myself. My family wasn't the most wealthiest people where we lived. We didn't have the money to purchase Nike and Tommy Hilfiger and Fila and all these other ones that were around when I was in grade school. So, I actually went through quite a bit of, some type of bullying here and there. But, I was lucky enough to overcome all that, right? Kind of overlooked that and everything. But, ultimately what I'm saying is that, it will actually cut the, a lot of the bullying issues that are happening around the world today by, stopping the criticizing. Everyone is dressed the same. Everyone goes to school, looking the same. It puts the mind at ease with these children also, right? They don't have to worry about what are they going to wear tomorrow. They don't have to worry about, am I going to look proper tomorrow? They don't have to worry about, am I going to be criticized, whatever the case may be. So truly, right, what I'm trying to say, right, as far as I'm concerned, grade schools, students should not have the freedom whatsoever to choose what they want to wear to school, right? Ultimately, grade school students have to wear uniforms, right, in my opinion. Although it's important, right, to have unique style and personality when they're in school, it's also important to keep everything uniform because of all the different issues that can come along with designer clothes, bullying, and cliques formed around, children who cannot afford to look as trendy as others. Let's keep them uniform so they can focus more on school, work more, right, than focusing on what the person next to them is wearing or what the person next to them looks like. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it not only helps the formality of the school and education, it also helps the children by not having to worry about what that other person looks like or being critiqued. So anyhow, I don't want to take up too much time, so I appreciate you listening to the speech. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Jose Rivera, 203-362-7040, or simply shoot me an email, jose.a.rivera@hp.com. Thank you.